We're the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Jamming, I wanna jam it with you. Jamming, and I wanna like jamming too. Yo, this is Steve Marley, yo. And on May the 4th, I'll be in Immokalee at the Seminole Casino Hotel with the legendary Inner Circle. See, we see you there. Rastafari love. And I'm jamming with you, yeah. Jamming, yeah. And I'm jamming too, yeah.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir. It is Hump Day, and we are here at Canes, where we even got John Rouse is in the house. Yes, sir. Visiting us out here at Canesware, which is always a beautiful thing. Oh, man. Come on out, man. John, Jeff, Brett, all the great people are out here. They'll be taking care of you. So we got Sean Stanley by my side, as always. Loving it. Loving it. Like I'm loving this dip, too, boy. Woo! I like it. It's like at 57 right now. Every chance I get to get more Bitcoin, that's all I'm going to do. Where are we at right now? 57.2 right now. Sweet! I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about. Matt Verderam will join us at the top of the next hour. We are out here at Canesware, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Now, my foot is like, I'm walking and all that. Give you a little tour of the store in a little while so you can see a lot of the good stuff. There's this, I think I might take this home today. This sweater, it's right here next to me, hoodie and all. This thing is fresh, dude. Fresh. I think I might take that one home, man. That one's nice. I need kind of a hoodie. I don't have one. So this place is dangerous for me. As I start walking around and I'm like, hey, that Canes hat is nice. That Heat hat is nice. That Dolphins hat is nice. I do have to check and see if they have a Dolphins hat with a classic logo that I don't have that I want. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. But anyway, so if you guys are anywhere in the Davie area, you want to come on by and say hi. I'm surprised you ain't buying one of those. That's your kind of shirt right there, bro. That's a hoodie also? Oh, yeah. But the cutoff on the sleeves gives it away for you because you're always right. Exactly. So, yeah, the gun show. So there you go. That's a shirt that you usually wear. And by the way, he's like down 40 pounds or something like that. So it's crazy stuff what's going on. Let's see, a little roll call. Jay Gelfin is in the house. He's the first on the chat board. Congratulations to you. Manolo Rivera is in. Big O, you don't get enough credit for the work you put in. Great series of shows on draft day. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Cosa Nostra is in. F1 in Miami this weekend. I wonder who's going to win. You're going to go Verstappen. You're going to go out on a limb. Really out on a limb. I mean, to go to that thing, it's like to go to an event, and that's it. But the sport itself is lame. It's always been lame, dude. Always. Because it's really not a competitive sport. So I get it. If you want to just go for the people and star watching and all that kind of crap, fine. But is it really a good sport? Yeah, I don't have that one. Let me see that one. In fact, I'm bastard. You found one that I'm going to buy. John Rouse found this one. Oh, yeah, no, 66. Yeah, no. Yeah. I've got 2 hats with the 1966 now. Yeah, because if it has Dolphins 1966, I got to buy it. This is cool. I don't have one that has, like, Dolphins. You're buying one too, huh, John? Yeah. Yeah. Remember, Big O10, you get 10% off. Remember, John? Big O10, you get 10% off online, or if you come here in person, I'm definitely buying this hat. Oh, yes. Nice job by you. Yeah, it looks freaking awesome, dude. This is nice. I can't have enough Dolphin hats, right? It's just, I'm such a Dolphin fanatic, bro. Oh, yeah, no, I know. I hate them so much. Can't stand them, bastards. Yep. Hate them so much that I spend my money all the time on them. Yeah, bro.
You're going to wear it for marketing sense right now.
This is a great hat. I like this hat.
It's very nice.
It's a great call by John.
I like the color, too. It's that little off-white. It's good stuff.
Yeah, dude. This is a fresh-ass hat. Hells to the yeah. Hells to the yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm buying this hat. Hell yeah, I'm buying this hat. Yeah, it is comfortable, isn't it? Yeah, the way it's shaped inside, it's built well. Yeah, you're right. It is nice and comfortable. That is a fresh-ass hat, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Crypto Finn says, good morning. Just bought 250 of Bitcoin. Couldn't help myself. Of course not. I bought some this morning myself, too. Steve Chapman is in the house. Steven Gonzalez. How about the Maple Leafs? I know, dude. I was watching last night, and it was 1-1 forever, brother. And they took the lead. Toronto scored first on the 1-0, and then Boston tied it up, and then they got the win in the overtime, and it was like, all right. And their best player was out yesterday with a sickness. I don't know. Are they getting him back for the next game? I'm not exactly sure, but I hope he's able to come back for the next game. We need this thing to get extended as many overtimes as possible. If these bastards want to play 10 overtimes, is that allowed in the NHL? What do they do? Is a shootout after the?
I think it's 2 and then a shootout, or is it overtime and then just a shootout? I can't remember.
Well, in the regular season,
the Panthers went to the playoffs a couple times. I believe they just kept doing overtimes, though.
Right. I see. I'm confused now because in the regular season, it's an overtime and then shootout.
At one time, didn't they do like a 5 overtime game or 4 overtime game or something? In the playoffs last season, I think
somebody out there might be a little smarter than us on that one. I'm not exactly sure what they do, but hey, whatever they can do to extend it and beat the hell out of each other up. I'm all. Wrong mic. I'm all for that, dude. You guys are all for that too. I mean, I could not sit there. My wife is happy this morning because she gets a Whopper Junior for lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Giovanni says they go on overtime every period until someone wins.
Well, thank you. You know more than I do. I appreciate that. By the way, folks, there's nothing wrong with saying you don't know something. Just want to keep reiterating that because we're all human beings. We're not going to know everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. What?
He said last year, Adam Sadowski said last year versus Carolina went 4 overtimes. I remember there was one game where
it makes
felt
sense.
like it was never going to end.
Right. It makes sense that you would go into extra overtimes. Man, this hat is super comfortable, bro. This is fresh. Fresh. This is a new batch of hats because this was not here last month when we were here. So, no, Matthews, the badass, their best player. Yeah, it was a sickness and an illness or something. But yeah,
they got Bobby McMahon is day to day. That's the only one on their injury report right now.
Okay. Let's see. Jamie Riyadh in San Jose, reminding everybody to smash the like button, hit the notification bell. That way you know when we're on. Would have helped a lot during the draft weekend because, right when we come on for each show, it would have told you, hey, we're on. Ray Sosa in, Giovanni in Foggy, Murphy, North Carolina. NorCal says Tyreek needs to step up and get some sticky gloves. He needs to step up big time because he's playing for another team the following year. Put the Heat and U.S. out of our misery. Or us. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Because the U.S. is in misery. But yeah, the Heat. Yeah, that tonight the season ends for the Heat. It's over. I keep telling everybody this is what happened. Okay, Boston got bored. That's why you got one game. They got bored at the end of the first game. In the second half, they did not even try because they did not respect the Heat after that. And then they got surprised in the second game, and then in the third and fourth games, they've taken it serious, and they'll take it serious tonight, and they'll eliminate the Heat. It is what it is. Here's my message to the Miami Heat organization that I have so much respect for. I have immense love for that organization, what they've done for us down here in South Florida, and Mickey and Pat and all that. And I know that this is against their DNA. It's time to tear it down and stop trying to put lipstick on a pig. You don't have the resources to trade for stars. Everyone can beat you out for every single offer, and they'll be able to do it again this offseason. So stop lying to yourselves. The only reason you even got Butler was Wade. So you got Jaquez and Jovic and Bam. You got guys you can build on. You're going to have another first-round pick. You've done a really good job drafting. So try to hit again on this one. Develop the other guys over the next 2 years. Get rid of the Jimmy Butler salary. If some miracle you can dump him to somebody this offseason or next offseason, then so be it and do it. But do not give him an extension, and try to build up Tyler if you can and move him also, and get liquid. Have money so you can actually go after a real star. And then a couple of years from now, you've given yourself some space, and maybe now you'll have more picks that you can trade and those kind of things. But it's not in their DNA to do that because they refuse to go about doing things that way. They want to completely go out and win every year. But the problem is you cannot build a champion right now because you don't have the resources and you don't have the players. As this show has been telling you for years, Bam is not a star. He's an awesome player. I love him, but he's a 3. He's a 4. It's not a 1 or a 2. He's your best complementary player. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Chris Middleton, not a great player, great complementary player. Makes the All-Star. Bam can make an All-Star. Doesn't make him a franchise player. There's lots of players like that in the history of the NBA. Everybody needs them. They don't have to be the superstar.
You can be Dennis Johnson and not be a superstar like Bird and McHale, but you're damn important, dude. Right? So it's possible. The hell is that? Oh, we got a weather update. Oh, so the weather moved up here is what you're saying? Because I was getting pounded down there down south. Yeah, I was, bro. And in West Kendall, it was pouring. Like, yeah, no, in West Kendall. Now, I don't know if it was moving north or what, or it was moving south or east, or I have zero clue. But wait a minute. But did you get a weather alert like for your neighborhood? Oh, well, wait a minute. You're Miami Gardens, so it could be moving up towards. Okay. The dinger. So that's what I would say to the Heat. Dude, I am more than satisfied with the Heat organization. I don't need them to go crazy every year to go after a title when you really aren't set for it. I have the patience to watch Jaquez grow and Jovic grow and all that. And you're going to be an 8 seed anyway. So you're doing it with Butler because he doesn't give a shit. You know, it's the latest. I had so much fun with it last night and I retweeted it this morning. You can go to my. Now we got idiots. You know, fans are silly. There's a section of you people that are you're silly. Now you've got LeBron back in a Heat uniform with Butler and Bam and all. Yeah, a 40-year-old man is going to come here to carry Jimmy Butler the entire regular season because Jimmy Butler doesn't give a shit about the regular season. Do you realize that Jimmy Butler has sealed the deal on never bringing a star here ever again? Because now he proved to everybody 2 years in a row that he's not going to try in the regular season. So why would a superstar want to come here and kill themselves all regular season while the other guy is sniffing coffee beans and doing commercials? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's right. I know what that fan's going to say. No, things are going to change. Riley's going to have a conversation with Butler, and he's going to get him to try in the regular season. Yeah, sure. Time to hit the reset button. There's nothing wrong with that Miami Heat organization at all. At all. The fan that wants to get pissed, they're not really your fan. Because you've given us all kinds of titles and winning and division titles and all kinds of trips to the playoffs and wins we never counted on. You're amazing. So you're more than entitled to hit the reset button. And we should be more than spoiled enough to say, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. We can be better down the line by doing it this way instead of desperately trying to put lipstick on a pig and it never works out. That's what an intelligent fan would say. I mean, that's the way I would look at it because it's not intelligent thinking you can win anything significant with this bunch. That's not intelligent. That's not smart. Danny Granger, not smart. Bob, not smart. Whiteside, Johnson, and Johnson, not smart. Dwayne Dedman, not smart. Tyler Hero, big contract, not smart. Extending Jimmy Butler, incredibly stupid. Lots of stupid things have been done the last 10 years. It's time to do something sensible. Reset. So after tonight, when the season ends, time to reset. Okay? Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
What would you think that locker room would look like if LeBron James is playing games and Jimmy Butler is sitting out, and then when he's playing, he's cruising through? LeBron played 71 games this year.
LeBron plays, dude. He only misses because he's really injured.
Or he doesn't want to play in Miami.
Right, well, whatever. but really, I mean,
no, you're right. You're right. But how does that sit with LeBron? Think about it. If we bring in LeBron,
sit.
It's not going to work.
No,
regardless.
No one's working with Jimmy. That bullshit that that certain media fed you. Oh, no, Jimmy can recruit a star. No, he can't. No, he can't. Wade can, even when he's not on the team. Oh, and here's the other thing. Can we stop already with the whole whale stuff? Riley can't get whales anymore, dude. Riley hasn't gotten a whale since Shaq. That's nearly 20 years. The rest is a myth. Bosch, LeBron, and Butler came here because of Wade. So reset, dude. Let's stop being unrealistic. Unrealistic is thinking you can win anything significant with this bunch. Spo has painted enough Picassos with crayons. You effing gave Spo Crayolas, and he made you a Warhol. Okay? That's all you're giving Spo, Crayola. And he goes, here's Picasso. Here's more Crayola for you. No problem. Here's Da Vinci. How much more? How much more Play-Doh and Crayola do you want to give Spo? You know what I mean? So let's reset, get your money back, get cap space back, and go find Spo like real stars. Because, you keep asking him to make chicken salad out of chicken. Because he does the things that no coach in the NBA can do. He's the Shula of basketball. That's it. He's the Shula of basketball. And thank the Lord for Spo, because then my old ass doesn't have to use Shula as an example all the time. Because since I grew up with the best ever, that won with Greasy, that won with Woodstock, and that won with Marino. I saw him win with all kinds of crap. I saw him win with Doug Peterson as 325. So thank God I now have like a modern day coach that is exactly like Spo. I mean, like Shula. Same thing. I can say Shula and Spo in the same sentence. I've never been able to say that because there's nobody that I would put next to Shula. But I would put Spo next to Shula. But enough Crayola. Enough Play-Doh. Let's start giving the man ceramic. Let's start giving him some marble. Maybe the stuff he can create, it can actually last forever. That clay stuff ain't gonna last forever. Crayola ain't gonna last forever. So that's my message to the Heat. Time to rebuild. Gordon Shumway in the house, Jonathan Cago, Ray Varnicus, Elway to Allen, Sadowski, Think Blue Dodgers. Dolphins did a good job replenishing their pass rush. Interior O-line is a concern. Why is it a concern? I don't understand that. They feel they have the guys. You were concerned about Austin Jackson, right? They weren't. I was listening to Joe and Dave Hyde this morning. I got in the car. I was in the car a little over an hour, and I'm listening to them worry about the offensive line and that Patrick Paul's going to sit for a year. And they're like, well, why'd you draft a second-round pick that's not – well, it's called foresight. Next year you're losing 2 offensive linemen. Are you going to draft a rookie next year? And then you'll criticize them for drafting a rookie and throwing a rookie in there that wasn't ready. And have you not seen that in the system, Teron Armstead, listen to me now, Teron Armstead, who's now been in the system 2 years, a total of 1.5 because of all games missed, or 1 1/3, okay? But I heard him say this offseason that now he was comfortable with the system by the end of last season because he didn't really understand everything until, after enough reps, and then it comes to you. That's Teron Armstead, a seasoned veteran, telling you that it took him a little while to adjust to this offense compared to what he used to do at New Orleans. That's a veteran. But see, you got to listen and you got to understand this game. And then you got to understand why something is done. And so the idea is this young man now gets to learn the system for a year because they're desperately going to need him or Keon next year. So you can't complain about something that makes all the sense in the world when you know that you're going to lose 2 linemen next year because Armstead's gone and Kendall Lamb is gone. So now you will have Keon, who's grown up. This is his 3rd year now in the system, who's grown up here. And then Patrick Paul will be in his 2nd year in the system next year. And you're hoping one of those guys becomes the opposite tackle to Austin Jackson. You can't complain about something just because you want to create controversy on the air because you want to say, no, I want a player for now. And then next year, you're going to be the same person bitching at the team because they drafted whoever Patrick Paul would be next year, and then throw a rookie in there possibly who has never been in the system and doesn't know anything. Where this year he'll have a whole year. Possibly he could play in some blowouts. Who knows? There might be a couple of injuries. He might end up playing, might get some playing time, might help him. So this is the kind of stuff that I hear or I read, and then I laugh. And by the way, one of the 2 guys actually played the game. So, But again, when you have an agenda and you don't like the GM, you have to create whatever you can to try to back your weak argument. So, kind of get where it comes from also. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like this is all I do now. Dalton Reisner. Did we not address this a year ago? A year ago. Did we not address this? Is this not the 3rd time he's available where Miami can get him? And because one parrot says it, everybody else starts repeating it. He really does. They don't think in that building that he really kind of is a fit, actually. Even if he played in a zone scheme. They don't really think he excels in that zone scheme. I think I told you this over a year ago. But because others write it, others talk about it, it's repeated. Without actually knowledge. By the way, I heard one of those 2, I think it was Hyde, that said, no, I think they decided on Wilkins last year. And I was like, oh, really? It's good that the information we gave here on the show is finally getting around to other people out there. For the last year, all I heard was, no, you got to tag him. He's the heart and soul of the defense. That was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life, by the way. When inside the building, they don't think that. Gus 1388, Jeremy Dorset, Sam the Man, Todd A.O., greetings from New Mexico on the way to New Orleans Jazz Fest for some Stones, Foo Fighter, Neil Young, Crazy Horse. Blessed. Dude, you are, bro. God, I am so jealous, Todd, that you're going to Jazz Fest. Man, would I love to go to Jazz Fest. Yeah, Big Bert, last night tonight for the Heat. It's been a good season overall. Considering your star didn't even try, you've done all right. Rosendo says, may this day be filled with positivity and productivity for you. Giovanni is in. Drago, Lenny Pena, Frankie Fresco. No Jamie tonight, but something tells me Miami wins. Okay. Ja-E, Tyreek definitely not coming back next year. Yeah, definitely not. Wait till I add something else that'll go. Oh, dude. Take a break.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Join us at the Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee. It'll be next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, May 4th. Inner Circle will be there. Stephen Marley will be there. Two legendary.
Come early.
Yes.
Meet and greet. Say what's up. You know, practice up your Jamaican. We give you a class. You know what I mean? Walk on. You know, it fun. You know.
And by the way, come early because they got great facilities. Besides the casino, you might be able to eat something, all that good stuff.
Yeah. It's a fun day. Whether you live in wherever Naples, wherever Miami, anywhere where you listen to this, come on now.
Yep,
We be waiting.
And we got the QR.
Ready or not, here we come.
Exactly. There you go. So use the QR code if you want to get tickets and join us next week. And again, Ian, I got to tell you, thank you for taking some time. I can't wait to get to the concert next week with the wife and jam. Hopefully I'll get to meet you next week, you and your future.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped, you know.
I'm looking forward to it, man, and I'm very honored that you were able to join us. I look forward to seeing you next week, my friend. Thank you for taking.
Man, come tell him come by the blue and silver bus, man, and holler at us, man. We be on the bus.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, man. Peace.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. Cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
O Show.
All righty, we are back. Apologies. A phone call I had to take. Definitely no Dalton Reisner. Okay? Just because, I said it a year ago, but something told me that there will be no Dalton Reisner. Okay? No DJ Chark either. I really like DJ Chark, but you will not see him here. You will not see him here. We are waiting for Odell, but he wants too much money. So, anyway, Cap for Life goes, you called it, bro. I know exactly who's pushing those narratives. Well, I'm here to just help you and what is real and what is Memorex, what is honesty and what is fluff. Okay? Dalton Reisner, oh my God, is that fluff? Ugh. It's like just one parrot repeating it, and it's like I had 3 people DM me yesterday that follow. Hey, what do you think of Dalton? Oh, stop repeating what these people have no idea. So, but anyway, no DJ Chark, man. Not even on the radar. Not even on the radar. Yeah. Can't tell you everything. It was a very enlightening phone call. That's all I could say. Anyway, so but you'll find out more stuff as time goes on. Just it's like a time release capsule. You take it, and it's kind of helping you out throughout the day. And so you ingest the information, and there's a time and a place where you can let out some of it. We gave you some right now. And although the Dalton Reisner thing I already knew, but that was kind of confirmed. It's like, whatever. And then a couple other things. And then there's some other stuff that I'm just, Odell wants too much money. DJ Chark is not even on the radar. The reason why, God, it's kind of insulting for him, but, Anyway, some other stuff, but there'll be time. And wait till March of next year. There's like it'll be like the atomic bomb drop. It is what it'll be. But we gotta hold on. There's a timer on it, and the IMF is not going to get to it. So Ethan can try. Okay. What's Vin Rain's name on the Mission Impossible? Because Ethan is obviously, Cruise. But you're not a fan of that franchise? He's not a fan of Mission Impossible franchise? Really? Wow. Damn. Can't believe that.
I really am not a music guy or a movie guy. Like those are I'm not into.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I figure Mission Impossible might be one that most guys are into because it's actually a really
Star
good
Wars for me. It's pretty much the only franchise I got into.
Yeah, that's the impeccable one. Anyway, good morning, Big O. Building a sports team, in this case football, is like personal finances in that you must think and have a long-term plan to be successful. Yeah, that's why I was kind of laughing at the guys like, you're picking on the Patrick Paul because you need something this year, but they're actually planning for next year. They did plan for this year. They brought Lamb back to back up Armstead. That's what you want. You don't want Patrick Paul backing up Teron Armstead right now. You want Kendall Lamb. Oh, and by the way, they've been developing Keon, and he played well the few snaps he got last year. It's kind of like these are the things that are funny. I just find it funny how people complain about something like, no, dude, it's really smart. Yes, sir.
Luther Stickle.
Well, what do we do?
Ving Rhames. That's his name.
Oh, Luther. Luther. That's it. Luther. Yes. Luther. Yes.
Once you start on the rants, I try not to. So usually we're by when I finally find stuff.
Right. And then it's is it Toby or whatever the funny guy? Is it Toby? It's kind of like a name like that. The guy with the blonde hair, dirty blonde hair, and the brown eyes. What's his name? I think it's Toby. I want to say, or some. It's kind of a name like that. He's funny in that. It is Toby. Yeah, it's Toby. What's the name of the actor? And I forgot the guy's name, but if you tell me the name, I'll go. Yeah, that's it. Greg Van Roten and OBJ are the best targets at guard and wide receiver. Quandre Diggs at safety. Quandre Diggs is actually very interesting. Very interesting. But I was disappointed about DJ Chark. Oh God, I love DJ Chark. I was obliterated by the info today. I was like, huh? You think what? Really? Okay. Yeah, I guess you guys don't want him. It's like, whoa. Damn, dude. Sharman? Okay. Wow. Damn. I hope Mr. Whipple don't get his hands on him. Anyway. Let's see. Steve Gonzo Ken Griffin is up, has more stacks than Stephen Ross, from what I hear. Huh? Steve Gonzo Ken, what the hell is that?
Safadine reported that apparently Stephen Ross was in talks with a hedge fund guy, which I think is the gentleman's name there.
What, to sell the team?
To, I think, buy into all three assets, the Open, the F1, the Dolphins.
Oh, I see.
Like it was like some kind of,
in other words, take over for Bruce.
I believe that's
probably what it is.
Again, I just saw it today because Barry retweeted it.
Because
again,
Bruce has no shot at owning ever again.
Yeah.
So he has to divest.
Yeah.
And in order to divest, you need someone to invest. Mm-hmm. And so that's probably what's happening, because he's already putting his daughter in charge.
Yeah, and he said there was talks, but Barry made it seem like it didn't go much further than talks.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It's the
Again, I haven't read anything. I'm just going off of some X comments. And
I'm putting
like
basic math together. Yeah. It's replacing Bruce Beal, who was bandaged, was told by the NFL, dude, you're done. You're not going to be the next owner. So he has to divest, and they have to give it to somebody else, and maybe that hedge fund guy. Simon Pegg, nice. Benji, that's it. Simon Pegg, Benji, Manolo, awesome by you, sir. Yes. Yeah. Cash the Jeweler says, is it good or bad? I need to know something. Well, I don't know. It's up to you, whatever you think I just told you. That's just a couple of notes I just gave you. Gave you like 3 quick notes, 3 quick breaking stories that nobody else can give you. Okay? DJ Chark completely off the board. Odell Beckham wants too much money. And Dalton Reisner. You wrote Dalton Reisner? You talked about it on your show? Should have listened to mine a year ago. Whew. Anyway. So, how do you deal with the fanaticism and constant opinions that come from people listening to talking heads? I come in here for my daily dose of reality with the Fins. Keep killing it, hermano. My brother, I take satisfaction in leading you guys and ladies out there down the right path and telling you, look, dude, don't listen to this. That's not right. This is what's going on. And then that's it. That's where I take it. I get the fans. Fans are fanatical. So they're kind of like, They have blinders on. There's a group of you guys and ladies that you have blinders on. And you really are not, it's almost like you give in to the FUD. You give in to getting psyched out about Christian Wilkins being the heart and soul of the team and that they desperately want him back. And that was not even close. It was so off. It wasn't even funny. So that's where I get, satisfaction that we're not going to be always right. Well, holy shit, dude. I mean, seriously. Right. We're not selling Dalton Reisner, and we told you we're not signing Dalton Reisner. Just like we told you Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook and all that kind of stuff, dude. That's where I have, because I'm not chasing sensationalism. I don't need to, dude. Don't need it. So I know that if I'm in your seat right now, at home, in the office, wherever you're at, driving in your car, watching, listening, whatever, I would want somebody not feeding me a bunch of bullshit. Instead, I would want somebody to tell me the truth, good or bad, but at least the truth. And then that's where I get my satisfaction, because I'm the guy that doesn't talk up Albert Wilson. I'm telling you where Albert Wilson stands instead. Like, this guy will barely even make a roster and he's not going to make an impact on this team. But, others have to talk him up to fill some space that day or fill a segment. And it's just, that's the kind of stuff that I'm just not a part of. And that's where I get my satisfaction, Joseph. You know what I mean? And then those of you that follow the show, you should be also incredibly satisfied, because if you go back to your friends and tell them exactly what we tell you, you're the ones that are going to look like geniuses every single time. So I'm just saying, that's where I get my satisfaction, that I'd rather get you the accurate information. And then that way we'll give you a reason why Tyreek Hill is another reason why Tyreek Hill is gone. As we were first to tell you, Tyreek is gone next year. So we're going to give you another reason why, which goes off of something we explained last year that happened. Same kind of way. And so that's where I take my super satisfaction, that when it comes to this team, dude, I get more shit right than everybody else on this beat. Those are the facts. So, whatever. I just hope you guys appreciate it. That's all. And support, like right here at Caneswear. Come on down, man. Use our code BIG010. Make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can also make a Bitcoin donation, since we do have a hell of a dip right now. I'm loving it. So there you go. That's how you guys can repay us, by watching a lot, by visiting our sponsors, making donations. That's how you repay us. Since I started watching this show, I have quit watching all the national sports shows and can't stand their talking heads. Well, of course, because they want to argue about Tua's contract. It's like, yo, bro, it's going to get done. Relax. Yes, sir.
The Sportstradamus has spoken.
There you go. So we try. Thank you, One-Eyed Jack. We try, my brother. Let's see. Manolo Rivera. Dougie is good people, but he doesn't have the connections of the Big O, who's a veteran local reporter for many years. Thank you. And Dougie is a great dude. But see, Dougie doesn't try to be sensationalistic. And he doesn't try to tell you he's breaking stories or anything like that. He analyzes what goes on. Does an excellent job. He's great people. Definitely. Yes. Oh, you got the mic on.
Yeah, no. I was going to say, he's going off a comment earlier because I guess Dougley put out a video about Reisner wanting him.
Oh,
so that's where that comment about
he's just following what everybody else is talking about.
Yeah.
It's a Dalton Reisner conversation. So let me talk about him.
Yep.
So that's what he's doing. Right.
100%.
And Dougie probably didn't watch my segment a year ago about Dalton Reisner when he was available then. Like I said, he's been available 3 times. And 3 times they haven't signed him. I'm trying to enlighten folks on this. Yeah, maybe the 4th time. Yeah, maybe you need a 4th time to kind of believe it. Maybe they don't like Dalton Reisner because every time he's available, they never sign him. What is it with the Dolphins and Dalton Reisner? Well, they don't really think he fits their scheme. So that's how it goes. Hey, let's get to our 3 graphics sports calendar. Alan Blanco, custom printing and embroidery. Your company needs that. Your fantasy league. Man, visit the people that support us. Custom printing and embroidery. Last night, the Marlins defeated the Rockies. They finally got a win. 7-6 in 10 innings. So thank Dane Myers with the game winner in the 10th inning. He went 2 of 2, 3 RBIs, and a .429 batting average. Dane, you can hope to contain him, but you can't stop him, Myers. That definitely, he's probably our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of that. He did get everybody Whopper Juniors. Okay, he got my wife lunch today. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's give Dane Myers and the Marlins a victory cigar. They don't get a lot of those. By the way, Sixto was Sixto, 4 innings, 5 earned runs. Boy, we have waited so long for nothing with Sixto Sanchez. Tonight, 6:40, Rockies and Marlins, Dakota Hudson and Roddery Munoz. A 6.57 ERA for Dakota, 0-4 mark, and Roddery is 0-0 and a 3.6 ERA. Tonight, the Miami Heat season wraps up in Boston at TD Garden at 7:30. Heat and Celtics. Celtics favored by 14. The over and under is 198.5. Heat plus 700 on the money line. The Celtics are minus 1,100 on the money line. Enjoy the final game of the season. No Jaime Jaquez to go along with Butler and Rozier and all that. Maple Leafs. Normally, I wouldn't put another hockey score in this calendar update, but with the 3 graphics, we got to put it because it means something. The Maple Leafs beat the Bruins in overtime 2-1. So now the series is Boston 3-2, and it goes back to Toronto for game 6. So we are all rooting for 7 games in this series and as many overtimes as possible. That is your 3A graphics sports calendar. By the way, I see Men at Work announced a tour yesterday on the music end, October 18th in Fort Lauderdale at the Broward Center. Ace Frehley announced a new tour, not coming to South Florida, but there is a date in Orlando at Hard Rock Live, June 21st, if you want to go see Space Ace. And Squeeze and Boy George, or it'll be Boy George and Squeeze. I don't know. I would imagine Boy George is going to be the headliner. But I actually am going to that concert because not so much for Boy George. I've seen him before. Not a big deal. But Squeeze, oh, man, I've never seen Tilbrook and the Boys. So I really want to see Squeeze. That is going to be cool as cats. Cool for cats, that is. So I am going to see Squeeze September 21st at Pompano Beach Amphitheater. Megadeth, by the way, has also announced a tour, and they're coming to I Think Amphitheater here in in West Palm Beach, August 24th. So there you go. That is some of the stuff that went on. By the way, how about the 76ers pulling that thing out, pulling the victory out of the jaws of defeat? Yeah. By the way, that's a star, Tyrese Maxey. Not Bam Adebayo, not Tyler Hero and his Malcolm McLaren hat. Okay? Which, by the way, I got to say, the Malcolm McLaren hat, he pulled it off. He normally has a terrible wardrobe, but the other night he pulled it off. I got to say.
The Malcolm McLaren hat, you know, two Buffalo girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. You know, so we got to give, because some people will say Pharrell, and it's not Pharrell. He wasn't. I know Pharrell had that hat, but the problem is Pharrell copied Malcolm McLaren. Malcolm McLaren was the original one. It's kind of like that that haircut that Jimmy Butler had, and what was it? Something like emo. Yeah, who's emo? I don't know what it is, but they said emo, and that's something more modern. And I'm sorry, whoever that emo is, it's kind of like the whole thing with Pharrell and the hat. You're not the original, bro. Jermaine Stewart is the original. He had the haircut of Jermaine Stewart. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. I never understood that reasoning by Jermaine Stewart. Never understood that, because when you take your clothes off, it's all about having fun. I don't know about Jermaine Stewart's kind of fun, but it's not my kind of fun. I hated that song was a hit when I was a kid, because I'm like, no, you're selling the wrong thing here. We do have to take our clothes off to have a good time. But then again, he's talking about cherry wine. What's wrong with you?
It says emo is a music genre that originated in Washington, D.C.'s hardcore scene in the 90s.
See?
As a style of hardcore punk and post-hardcore.
That's it. You're wrong. Just like if you do the hat and you say Pharrell Williams was the first. No. Malcolm McLaren. Let's have the facts. Let's give people their due. Our number 2, and Matt Verderam is next.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, let's go. We go with the man that's going to save Bill Romanowski from bankruptcy, right? You're loaning him cash, right, Matt? That's what I heard.
Look, man, after what happened with the Knicks last night, I'm not helping anybody. Except maybe like liquor costs around the area. That
yeah, I this is why I keep telling the Miami Heat and Heat fans, like, I love Bam, terrific player, not a star. They try to sell me Tyler, little bench player, he can score here and there. You want a star? Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson.
Yes,
that's stars. Those are people that put the team on their backs and in key moments lift you to heights you've never been to. That's what stars do. And I feel like they've done this thing here in the Heat where they manufacture players better than everybody else because they do. They find guys in the summer league and the draft and they develop them. But stars is different, bro. You can't manufacture a star. And Jimmy's done a great job of manufacturing himself into what he should be, probably a number 2 star. He's a number 1 here because we have nobody else. But really, number 1 stars in today's NBA have to be able to score and score at will. And last night, that's what you saw, dude. You saw a Maxey just outperform a Brunson.
Yeah. Well, I saw 2 things. I did see Maxey play out of his mind. All the credit in the world to him. Yeah, dude. I also saw the dumbest foul I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I will tell you right now as a New Yorker, if Philadelphia wins the series, that is Mitchell Robinson's legacy for the rest of his life.
I get
as far as I'm concerned. That is legitimately the dumbest foul I have ever seen in an NBA game. Bro, I don't care if you sit down on the floor during that possession. Let him hit the 3. Who cares? You're up 3 with the ball. And even if Josh Hart still splits his free throws and Maxey still hits that shot, now you're up 1 with 8 seconds left in the ball. And I know it's an if. I get it. If you hit your free throws there, you hit 2 free throws there, then you can just wrap the guy up. And the Sixers had no timeouts. They couldn't advance it. Wrap him up, foul him. There's 4 seconds left. Game's done. It's over. That was... I still think the Knicks will find a way to win the series. I honestly do. Whether it's in 6
they better.
They better. And I think sometimes we're in the moment, it's oh my God, how do they come back from this? When if you actually look at the history of stuff like that, usually the team that blew the game finds a way to win. The game that always comes up as a Knicks fan is the Reggie Miller 25 points in a quarter game in 94. And people forget that that put the Pacers up 3-2 going home. The Knicks then beat the Pacers in game 6 and game 7. Or that 8 points in 8 seconds game. The Knicks were down 3-1 in that series and actually came back, and it came down to that Ewing finger roll thing that he missed. But I still think they'll win. But I got to tell you, I stared at a wall for about 90 minutes after that game. I didn't move. I didn't get up. I didn't change the channel. The feed stopped on my Apple TV, and I just sat there and just looked at the wall and wanted to die. That's how I felt about that game.
Yeah, no, it was one of those rough ones for the Knicks fans. I will say something, not that I give a crap about the Knicks or anything, but
thank God for you. Good.
I found it really cool that there are so many former Knicks there.
Yeah, that is actually.
I think that's actually a really, really cool thing, overall. And I'm also, surprised that Dolan hasn't effed it up with them either. Yeah. So I'm glad that he's allowed them to come back and hang out and enjoy the moment because it's a cool moment for fans and even for former players who obviously still care. That's why they're showing up. So I thought that was actually really, really cool. But an amazing performance by Maxey.
Incredible.
And you could tell that Embiid is not himself still.
That's the last thing I'll say about this. For the love of God, stop doubling him.
Yeah.
He can't move. Mitchell Robinson, for as much as I'd like to just absolutely eviscerate him right now, he's great defensively, when he's not fouling in the dumbest possible situation. Bro, let Mitchell Robinson just defend Embiid one-on-one. Embiid's doing nothing against him. He can't move. The only time Embiid scores is from the free throw line or when he's taking some line drive 3 from 25 feet away. Let him do it. If you're the Knicks, double Maxey every possession and just be you know what? Tobias Harris beat me. I don't care. Kelly Oubre beat me, bro. Go for it. Buddy Hield, who's not even in the series anymore. Kyle Lowry, all these guys. Go ahead. Shoot it 100 times. Tobias Harris has had 2 good halves in this series. The rest of these guys have done nothing. Buddy Hield, no, Nick Batum. I will let Nick Batum shoot every single time down
Oh,
the
he already had his game.
Yeah,
He already had his game.
against Miami. Like, I don't care. Let every one of these guys shoot. Let Embiid shoot the ball at this point. Like, don't foul him and let him shoot. It's crazy. I cannot believe they keep. And the one thing I give the Sixers credit for, if you watch the series, they keep putting Maxey next to Embiid, so that every time they double, it's got to be off of Maxey, and they just swing it back to him. And you're like, how dumb are the Knicks to continually do this? Like, just stay on him. It's been. I honestly do think they'll win the series, but my blood pressure was about 400 over 300 all last night.
Well, it'll be worse if they lose the series because you can't lose a 3-1 series lead, bro.
There's a part of me, man, that like
you cannot.
If they lose the series, like I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm just going to be pissed more than anything else. But like I just
but after working so hard for the 2 seed,
right,
and then you put yourself in a
the series is over.
You cannot lose this series, dude.
You
cannot, because it'll be devastating.
Oh, of course. There's no question. Like, look, there was a stat that I saw this morning. Teams trailing by 6 points or more in the playoffs in NBA history with 25 seconds or less were 0 and 141 for last night.
Wow.
I mean, and Mitchell Robinson's like, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm just going to just viciously foul you for no reason at all and let you get a 4-point play. I think they'll win the series, but if they don't, they'll have a lot to think about in the offseason.
I'm with you there. All right, let's get to a couple things draft-wise.
Yes,
I don't know, but I don't know how much you follow it. What'd you think of the Dolphins? And again, none of this shit really matters for a couple of years as it is, but in general, your thoughts?
I thought the draft was fine. I think I gave it like a C+ or a B-. I can't remember. I think it was actually a B-. I Chop Robinson is fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Latu was off the board. They wanted an edge. Dallas Turner was gone. They if memory serves, they could have taken Verse. Or did he go right before them?
No, he went earlier.
Right before them, right? Yeah. So I get it. Robinson is probably the highest graded edge rusher on the board.
They love him.
Well, they better. They took him in the first round.
Yeah, they from what I'm hearing, they won't say it, of course, but really it's a matter of them not teaching him in the last level where he was at. And so they're convinced from certain things they've seen on film that he has the tools to be a great pass rusher, but it was all about more the fundamentals that were hurting him. And it's a characteristic and a problem that was there, going on coaching wise, but they won't say that.
Well, I mean, listen, he was an interesting kid because he came out with Adisa Isaac, who was really good at the Senior Bowl, was a really productive player at Penn State. So I think, look, right, the Robinson pick on the whole, I'd give it like a B-. It's fine. I like the Patrick Paul pick. I know a lot of people who are really high on him who thought he might even be a late first-round pick.
I thought it was a smart pick because
I like him. He was my favorite pick of theirs.
Well, let me tell you something. They brought back Armstead.
Right.
And they brought back Kendall Lamb, who did an awesome job filling in for Armstead.
Yeah.
Kendall Lamb already said, I'm done at the end of the year. This is my last year. Teron Armstead also said, I'm done. And so then they had this other kid, Keon, who has been a project for them for 2 years, played well for like 70 snaps last year, filling in. He's a young kid, but he's another guy they're developing. And so then they go and draft Paul, because in that way next year, Keon or Paul take over, I think, on the right side. I think Austin Jackson's going to go to the left. I think he's going to become the left tackle because he's super athletic. And then on the right side, I think Keon or Paul become the guy, and the guy that loses becomes the swing tackle. So you plan for this year with the two guys you need, because Armstead's going to get injured and Lamb's going to fill in. So you're set. And then you're planning for next year, and the kid gets to be in the system for a whole year. Dude, Teron Armstead, just to kind of, because you're not going to follow the minutia of the Dolphins. This offseason, in an interview, And he's played maybe a total of a season and a third, right? With all the injuries the last couple
Right,
years.
he's been beat up, yeah.
Right, he's been beat up. He's probably missed 9-10 games in the last 2 years easily. So he's played about a season and a third. This is Teron Armstead saying this. He goes, at last year, it finally clicked for me on this offense. I finally started to trust all the calls and where I was supposed to be blocking. Because at times in this offense, you're supposed to be blocking in places that you didn't think you would be blocking at. But you have to trust the scheme because somebody else will cover the gaping hole that you just left. This is Teron Armstead saying that he now understands the blocking scheme. So if that's Teron Armstead, what do you think a young guy goes through in order to learn this shit? So that's why the planning of Paul is genius on their part, because they know it's not a system you just step into and start to play. Even if you're Teron Armstead, you're going to make mistakes. So that was very enlightening this offseason. So your feeling on it is justified even more by the foresight that they're using by drafting him and planning for next year.
No, I like the pick. It was my favorite pick that they used. I thought, like he might play some this year because of injuries, but he'll certainly play next year.
Mhm.
And he's a mountain. I interviewed him after the Senior Bowl. I was on the field with him. That kid is enormous.
Yeah.
I
thought maybe they'd put him at guard a little bit. No dice.
No,
no
huge.
dice. He will not.
He's and look, he was a 2-time team captain. He had 39 starts at Houston. Like that kid. And I know, I talked to somebody close to that program who said that kid works his ass off. Like he is a really, really diligent worker. So I think he's going to be a really nice pick. I like him quite a bit. The Jalen Wright pick I'm torn on, to be honest, because I like Jalen Wright. I think he's a really good player.
Can I explain it? Can I explain it?
You're going to have to, because are they going to run the ball every down? Is that the thought process here?
Well, I'm going to enlighten folks after you on something that I'm, because I've been telling everybody Tyreek Hill is gone. He's done this year. That's it. This is his last year. He'll be shipped away. Just like I told everybody 2 years ago that X would be cut this offseason. And 2 years ago, I told them Byron would be cut in the following season. And I told everybody in the middle of a winning streak that Flo would get fired. I'm telling you ahead of time. Tyreek Hill is done with the Miami Dolphins. They have given up on him. They have moved on. It is over. But anyway, let me explain something, a little part of what I'm going to explain later. Jalen Wright was drafted because they had injuries to Mostert and Achan towards the end of the year. Because they're not big, strong backs, and they're not even Pacheco. Okay, nobody's fucking Derrick Henry, bro. Okay, nobody's a sledgehammer like Derrick Henry. But few are also like Pacheco, the guy you guys have, that he will sell his body out like a maniac and line up on the next play. If Mostert does that all the time, or Achan, they probably end up injured, and they did. So then you go to Jeff Wilson and Chris Brooks, and all of a sudden now you can't run the same offense. So what they did was they went and got a guy that had the same skill set as the other two guys. So now McDaniel will rotate all three. And then if you have injuries, you can keep the other guys fresh too on top of all of that. But if one is injured, you still have two. If two are injured, you still at least have one.
Okay.
But that was his problem. He wanted to run the same offense, and he can't run the same offense because Jeff Wilson and Chris Brooks are completely different backs. So they said, okay, we're going to spend a third-round pick. I know they picked him in the fourth, but they traded a third-rounder, so I'm going to count it. And last year they spent a third-rounder. So they must love this guy's skill set. And when I watch the tape and everything, he's exactly like what they have. So that's McDaniel's mindset. They want to be able to run more, but they need to have one more of that kind of guy. They're not so much into the power running game, put it that way. They're more into the finesse, speed, outside zone. So in order to get to that outside zone, Jeff Wilson's not that guy.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right. It makes sense, doesn't it? Right. And when I tell you what happened, it makes logic now. Okay. So you were banged up at the end of the year with both guys. Okay, let's get a third guy.
No, that's
and apparently he might be more physical than these two guys.
Fair enough. Like I said, I think Wright is a good player. So I think stylistically and all that, it makes sense. You could be the Jets. You could have drafted 2 running backs to play behind Breece Hall in what was really just a staggering thought process going on at Florham Park. Or the Falcons, who took a quarterback who may not play till he's 48 years old. No, I thought.
By the way, the balls they had to say, well, he could sit for 4 years. Really, dude? Really?
I thought we might have had a situation on our hands where it was the first time in NFL history a guy was drafted and simultaneously demanded a trade. Like, that was, if I'm Michael Penix Jr., I'd be like, are you kidding me? Like, I played college for 37 years and I just got drafted, and now you're telling me I have to sit behind Kirk Cousins. And meanwhile, Kirk Cousins is like, this is great. I just signed 4 years, 180 million, and I had my, let me put it a different way. I was neutered before I played 1 down in OTAs. This is great. This is good. It's a good thing. I mean, if you're a Falcons fan, you've got to be like, what in God's name is happening? And here's the other question in that part of this. Not that I don't want to go off a tangent, but like, what happens if Cousins rolls an ankle and misses 2 games and Penix comes in and plays well? Then what? Then what are you're going to sit your $180 million quarterback? What are you going to do?
Trade him to Dallas.
I mean, what are you doing? It's just, sometimes I really think some of these guys sit in the rooms and go, you know, it would be funny if we did this. And then they're like, yeah, let's just do it. Like, I'll never get it. I also don't get Denver drafting Bo Nix at 12. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I understand that more, but I don't agree with it much more.
Yeah. So overall, you thought the draft for the Dolphins was
solid.
A
Yeah, I thought it was solid. I thought it was a B-. Like, I thought it was a good, solid draft. I thought they got better. I think Robinson is an interesting piece. I think Paul's a great pick. Jalen Wright, like I said, you make your points.
I love sense. The Kamara pick, the 5th rounder.
Yeah.
Bro, 30.5 sacks.
Yep.
I don't give a shit who you are, dude.
High upside. Yeah. No, it's
I
fine.
don't care who you 45 tackles for losses. I don't care who you are, dude. I get it. You're undersized. I understand all of that, but you got werewolf in you, bro. You got werewolf in you. So in the 5th round, you needed pass rushers because your 2 are injured. You went and got Chop, and you got this kid on top of Shaq. At least you did. You said they're better. They're definitely a better team this year than they were last year. And if they stay healthy at the end of the year, they're definitely going to be better. There's only one question mark, the Christian Wilkins thing. I think at guard, they'll solve their issues. At Brooks is a better linebacker than Baker, and Fuller's a better corner than X right now. X is still sitting out there, dude.
He was kind of done. I don't. To me, the Xavier Howard thing, that's a non. And by the way, one guy I wanted to shout out quick because I knew there was another guy in my head and I could not remember the guy's name. I'm like, is it a Washington? And it is a Washington. They drafted 2 Washingtons at the same position, which is why I'm screwing my head up.
Yes.
Malik Washington?
Yes.
Yes. Interesting player. Like, I get it. I get why he's drafted where he is. Like, I understand, he's not that he's height and all that. I get it. He had 110 catches for 1,426 yards and 9 touchdowns.
He's a football player. He's a football player. And that's
after transferring, because he transferred from Northwestern. So, like, it wasn't like he'd been in that scheme for a million years. Like, let's put it this way. It piques my interest, if nothing else. Like, okay.
Let me explain something
to
you.
I like the pick.
Let me run in. Okay, so they have Waddle and Hill, right? And then that 3rd receiver was a problem last year, right? So they bring back Berrios. They draft Malik Washington and Taj Washington, 2, again, possession slot guys. Then in street free agency, they go sign Matthew Sexton, who's 5'10", out of Eastern Michigan, and Jaquan Burton, who's 5'9", out of FAU. You think they got a hard-on to solve that slot problem? They got 5 guys competing for 1 position.
Yeah.
So Braxton Berrios must be going, really? Another one? Another one? Another one? Another one? Like, they went and brought 4 people to compete with him. So something's going to give here. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me that they're going to solve that 3rd wide receiver problem. Besides Jonnu Smith,
who they added, who's one of the 3 fastest tight ends. I didn't say one of the 3 best tight ends. He's a good tight end, but in speed wise, which is what this head coach loves, he's right up there with all the, with Kelsey and I don't know who's the other fast tight end. Is Kittle would be considered one of those, or is just
Kittle? I mean,
whatever. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
John Smith is right up there in speed. So I get that they got their guy, but they're going to solve that problem, and that's what they did. They went heavily after that slot guy. So Barrios has got a lot of competition, dude.
My only question for you about the Dolphins, not the draft, just kind of like the actual overall 53-man roster here as they eventually get to it. Have they solved their physicality problem? Because I feel like last year that was a big issue. Like as the games went on, and they played, especially down the stretch, Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City. I think a common theme of those games was like, it's all speed and it's not enough smash.
Right.
Have they figured that
out? Okay. 2/3 of your line was completely injured. Hard to be as physical with your backups.
Sure.
By the time you played Kansas City, you had 3 geriatric linebackers you had signed off the street.
Also very true.
No way. And Phillips and Chubb were gone. So
I'm talking more about the offense, though. Like specifically, I guess it should be more because the offense wasn't hurt as much going in that playoff.
Okay, so when you're playing the Ravens and Mostert gets you 8, 3, 4, and 6 yards. He gets you across the 50-yard line.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
Go away from him.
And you go exactly. And so he did that several times. He did it even worse the first year. So this year he ran more, but he still failed to stick with it when it's dominating, which most coaches, when the run's dominating, they don't really, right. Why are you going to pass and put anything at risk? Brother, if you can't stop them, we're going to pound the shit out of you. Let's do it. And he has this tendency of trying to get cute. And so that's why the Jalen Wright pick. So that's why the Jalen Wright pick, I think, is huge, because I think he's seeing that. And I think he needs to spread the ball around more. That's why there's more slot receivers here now. That's why they got a tight end finally that they didn't have the first 2 years. There's going to be more of an emphasis on spreading the ball around. And there's going to be an emphasis more on sticking to his style of run. Okay? Because it's not a power running game. It's a speed running game. That's what he wants.
Everything's predicated on motion and all the rest of it.
Exactly. So I don't know if you could have been at your best 2 years ago when Tua and all those other guys in your line and everybody's injured. And then this past year, again, all those, they have been decimated the last 2 years. They have had the worst luck on the injury front. I'd like to answer that question with a more healthier team towards the end of the season because, dude, you got to have some breaks in health. All the championship teams, they have some injuries, but you cannot be wiped out where, we have no linebackers and no defensive ends. Yeah, that's fine. And 2/3 of your line is completely shot to shit. No, you just can't do that, bro. It's too hard. It's
fair enough. That is my one big looming question with Miami. Is when games are going to stop for teams. What is all about?
I've talked about this for a while, and I'm glad that the commissioner talked about it. I knew the 18-game schedule eventually would happen.
Yeah.
But it has to happen, like I've said over and over again, it has to happen with 2 bye weeks. We have to have a 20-week schedule because from now on, you must give the bye week during the Thursday games.
I agree.
That way,
I agree.
You have 10 days to prepare and 10 days after. So you will give a good presentation on Thursday nights, which it's usually a shitty presentation.
Usually the game sucks.
Right? Usually the game sucks. Now it'll be a good game. And then on top of all of that, you will be well rested. It's almost like having a semi-bye week before and after.
No, it's not a bad idea.
So I think, it's all been part of my big plan of eventually adding a division in Europe and a international practice facility with hotel where you have a whole division. You can't have one or two. No, you got to have a whole division so they can play and so U.S. teams can go there
and they have a practice facility and a hotel that's already dedicated to them, and they can then go play London one week and then Paris the next week, and that kind of shit. But that's kind of been part of my thing. When you get after the 20-game schedule, then you can start to expand in Europe and add a division.
I think
something
I think the way this is going to go down is, look, they're going to collectively bargain it, and the players are going to get another like 0.5% of the revenues, and
you're producing 2 more weeks of football.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get right. I mean, you're going to get more. With let's be real clear about this. The player is going to get absolutely screwed. Okay, that's what's going to happen.
Well,
I
that's
promise.
always happen.
That's what's going to happen.
That's just like the government and us.
Right.
No matter if it's Democrats or Republicans, we're going to get screwed either way. It's all the same. So
I can appreciate that, because everybody who argues politics, I always say the same thing to them. I say exactly what you just said. I don't know why you bother arguing about it, because we're all going to get screwed. It doesn't really matter.
I laugh at Biden and Trump people. It's like, bro, if you think those guys are the answers,
if you think they
those
care
two
about
parties
you,
are the answers, you're lost.
Sure,
dude.
they care about you. Believe
Yeah.
me, if they'd switch positions in 5 seconds if it meant $10 more.
That's right.
But in any event, now look, the 18 game schedule is going to happen. I had somebody say to me, the second the 17 game schedule happened, I had somebody say to me, yeah, it's going to be 18 games before the decade's over. Oh, guess what? It's going to be 18 games, maybe before half the decade's over. And truthfully, it should be at this point. Like, have 9 home, 9 away. And miss me with all the people who are going to be like, it's perfect how it is. It's too much football. Bro, it's 18 games. Like, it's not like we're playing 82 games. It's 18 games.
And you had a bye week.
Nobody's
which
bitching
makes
about
it
more
healthier.
football. It's fine. Like, it's fine. It'll be good. Yeah, I think you're just going to have the same schedule format, except you're probably going to play another NFC team, right? If you're an AFC team. So it's probably going to be like, you'll play, if you finish in first place, you'll play 2 first place NFC teams. And like one year it'll be the East and West, and next year it'll be the North and South, and you'll just rotate. Like, that's how it'll go. So, hey man, I'm fine with it. I feel bad for the players in a sense. Yeah, you're probably going to get a job, but like, that's, listen, that's it.
Oh, they'll tell them, well, we're going to give you a second bye week. And then that's where, that'll be the enticing part for them, that they'll have the second bye week. And of course, it better be placed there for the Thursday night games, because if you don't do that, that's absolutely criminal.
No question. I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. So what do you got going on in Sports Illustrated? So folks can check you out, my friend.
What don't I have going on? I have look, I did the draft grades. They're already out. I've got tomorrow, I believe it is, maybe it's Friday, depending on how it gets edited. Needs for all 32 teams that are still remaining. Next week, I've got wall-to-wall schedule release coverage, because we're anticipating it's probably going to be next Thursday or so. I will be all over that. I'll be predicting the AFC, every record in the AFC. I've got the draft steals coming up next week, 5 of them that I'm kind of highlighting. So there's a lot. Just follow me on my Twitter, and you'll see it all.
And by the way, Gordon's asking, do you think with the expansion of 18 games, the league will expand the rosters? No, but I do think you should have all 53 active.
Yeah, and I think that they'll probably do something with IR where, like, you can, like, maybe put 1 or 2 more guys on there, and
or activate more of your practice.
Yeah, like something where, like, you have more flexibility in your roster.
Right. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I doubt they'll add more. What they should do is have all 53 active. That's what makes a lot. It makes 0 sense nowadays to have 8 inactives.
Right. I agree.
That's stupid as it is. Follow him on Twitter at Matt Verderam. He always brings it, and we appreciate him here every single week. Matt, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
It sounds good. Take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Matt Verderam and the great Stephen Marley. I will see him on Saturday. I cannot wait, dude, at the Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee. You can use the QR code right there so you can get tickets. Join me, man. Come on out. If you live in Palm Beach in St. Lucie County, or if you want to drive up from Dade or Broward, come on out, man. Stephen Marley's been jamming for 45 years, 8-time Grammy Award winner. He's got a brand new album. It's called Old Soul. I've been listening to it. It is awesome. Bob Weir, Eric Clapton, Ziggy Marley, Jack Johnson, they have all contributed on the album. Inner Circle is going to be opening up. They're legends, bad boys, bad boys. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do when they come for you? Come on, man. Let's go. A la 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 long. A la 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 long 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 long. Come on, man. Inner Circle is awesome. You know how many people have redone that song? A bunch. So Stephen Marley, Inner Circle, the bad boys of reggae. And by the way, you got to check out our interview with Ian Lewis. It's there on the platform. We interviewed him last week. You can check that one out. But seriously, we will see you there. And as always, check it out, the Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee. Casino, restaurants, entertainment. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a complete facility. Use that QR code right there. Get your tickets. If you're listening on the audio, then go to the Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee and get your tickets, or a Ticketmaster. Get them for Stephen Marley, the Old Soul Tour. All right. So, last year, we predicted a couple things, and maybe some of you will remember it, and you may remember it. They normally would keep 4 running backs, right? What did I say? They were going to keep 5, right? Then I told you way ahead. I said, hey, they're going to keep 5. They're going to run more. Did I not tell you that? I told you Chris Brooks would make the team, and they're going to run more. And they did. Now, he did run more, to his credit, compared to the year before. He still failed to stick with it at times. He still has he's not a great play caller. He's a great play designer, not a great play caller, not a great game day coach yet. We hope that he grows into that this year, makes some really real positive strides in that direction. But we told you that there would be more running. Okay? So let me explain something to you that's coming. Okay? And I've kind of been setting you up already for some of it. I explained to you what was going on with Jalen Wright, right? To keep the same offense with the same 3 backs for 4 quarters now. So they had the top 2 banged up. Now they've got a third guy that has the same skill set. They can run the offense more. We told you that, right? We told you now, we explained to you, when you look at the receivers they signed, it's 4 slot guys to go with Berrios. That's 5. They want to solve that slot issue. They also signed Jonnu Smith, something they haven't had the first 2 years, a pass catcher that he wants. Chase Claypool, it just didn't fit in his scheme. He couldn't figure it out, which I blame him more than Chase. He couldn't figure out how to use Gesicki. I blame him more than I blame Gesicki. Gesicki caught 70 balls the year before with Brian Flores. Okay, he can be used, but whatever. He's set in his ways. Jonnu Smith fits exactly what he wants. A speed tight end. Okay, and he's got good hands. He's a solid route runner. Jonnu Smith is a good football player. So in this scheme, he will be used. I am sure that discussion has been talked about. And so he saw the speed, and he's like, this is the guy we got to get. There's going to be a change in this offense coming up this year. You will see them spread the ball around more. You will see them dedicate themselves a little more to the running game, and especially since Mike McDaniel has his kind of running game. Let me tell you about something that I've complained about that they're addressing. I believe they will address that this year. Did I not say throughout the year and in the offseason, have I not said they used Tyreek too much and wore him out? And there's too much Tyreek dependency. Guess what's not going to happen this year? Tyreek dependency is not happening. They will spread the ball around. Waddle will get more. The slot receiver will get more. The tight end will actually be involved and score touchdowns this year. And the running game has more. So if Tyreek is thinking of 2,000 yards, my brother, they're growing away from you. So as we explained to you this offseason, they needed money, and they could have gotten a boatload from Tyreek and chose to get 0. You look at the offseason and you look at players like Tua and others doing their camps and whatever. They didn't invite Tyreek to any of those. When Tua went to Hawaii, he went and got Teron Armstead and Jalen Ramsey, two elite characters. Tyreek is an elite talent, not an elite person. Okay? So the changing of the guard, which has been kind of a theme this week with the Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning and all that kind of stuff, well, it's happening before your eyes. They will run more. They will use the tight end more. They will use the third receiver more. Waddle, who's going to get his contract next year, will get more. And I'm sure they're telling Tua and programming his ass the other way, where they programmed him to go to Tyreek so much. Now they're going to program him to spread it around more. So the yards that Tyreek had in the past may not be the same yards he's going to have this year. The amount of catches, the amount of targets may not be the same because there's a changing of the guard. There's a changing of what they're going to do on offense. And they're showing you right in front of everyone's eyes what they're doing. They aggressively attacked that slot player. They added to the running back. They finally found a speed tight end. Tyreek will not have the kind of action he has had the last 2 years. And this will be a good thing for the Dolphins, that they're not so dependent and so obvious on where they're going. So if you wanted another example and reason why Tyreek Hill will not be back in 2025, as I've been telling you now for a couple of months, here's another reason. And it's happening right before your very eyes. You just have to look at what's happening and then decipher it, and it tells you everything that you need to know. By the way, in that Matt Verderam interview, they ended up getting another nugget from the phone call. Did you pick up on it? Yeah. That was another nugget dropped in there. Nuggets drop all over the place, and they're not chicken nuggets. They're golden nuggets. You can't wait for your Whopper Jr., huh? Dan Campbell is doing in Detroit, changing the culture. You know, he already changed it, dude, 67. He already changed it. He did in Detroit. First of all, let me say how wrong I was. First of all, I never even thought he would be this good. Okay, so let me just say, first of all, there that I was dead ass wrong there, because I looked at him as a raw guy. And he has proven to be a pretty good coach. He still does some stupid shit like last year. You know, he does some Tin Cup stuff that is frustrating. So I hope he fixes it. If you've never seen the Tin Cup movie, then you won't understand the analogy. But anyway, and they're winning, and brother, they should have been the Super Bowl pretty much. So yeah, he's done way better than I expected, I gotta say. Definitely. NorCal says, Big O, you said you think the Europe gets NFL teams in the future. I say NFL will expand its international series, but no team out of the USA international series, 8 games plus, and they will go 18 week. No, they're too greedy, NorCal. They're too greedy. Those stadiums fill and sell out, my friend. They will end up in Europe. It might be 10 years from now. But I promise you, they will revenue streams. They will always want to find new revenue streams. So they're going to add teams in Europe. Now, it may not be because I'm too smart for them, obviously. Because I've been saying the whole 2 bye weeks for a long time now for Thursday nights, and they refuse to do it. But, whatever. They'll probably expand to 2 teams, which I would put an entire division, as I've said many times over the last few years. I would put an entire division, Berlin, Barcelona, Paris, and London. Okay? Those are my 4 teams. Then I've got a international practice facility and a hotel built there in Europe. So that way, when a U.S. team travels over, they're going to stay there for a couple of weeks because they'll play Berlin one week and then go back to the facility in the hotel. And by the way, that hotel facility, you can also make it an NFL experience. So fans can go visit it on a consistent basis because they're going to be able to visit the visiting teams for practices and things like that. So you can do all kinds of things like that to even generate even more revenue. You can hire me if you want, NFL. I got ideas, bro. So anyway, you do that, and then you have the 2 bye weeks. So the 1 bye week is for a Thursday night game, and the other bye week is when you have to go to Europe. So, but I mean, what can I tell you? I'm just a dummy that does shows here. I know nothing. True Fan says, I'll say it again for the 122nd time. Health, Tyreek's big mouth, letting the league know the quest for 2,000. A head coach not wanting to get Tyreek mad and terrified of not being liked is the problem. Well, I could tell you that things have moved on in that building. That's all I can tell you. Things have moved on in that building. Spreading around is more beneficial. Force feeding is not necessary with the amount of weapons we got. Cap for life, you are correct. You are correct. Yeah, he also is changing the city. I mean, good for them, dude. I'm nothing but happy for Lions fans. They deserve a lot of success, man. They have suffered for over 70 years. That's a lot of suffering, dude. Let's see. Mayweather could have boxed professionally another 4 years after retiring. He chose to stop. He understood what getting hot was so much does to your brain. Tyreek needs to think about this. Completely different situation. Tyreek's situation is not about playing, dude. It's not about being on the field. Although on the field, he does have to hang on to key balls a little bit more. His problem is he needs to grow up. He needs to stop being a punk off the field. That's what Tyreek needs to do. Okay? So it's kind of the way I would look at it. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And Ocala Joe, my favorite kind of donation. He just made a Bitcoin donation. Yeah. Love it. Love it on this dip. 56.9 right now. Dude, thank you so much, Ocala Joe. That thing's going to multiply like crazy, man. Appreciate you, man. It's very nice of you. Very nice. Alf says, Big O, I haven't seen you comment on the clown show Dion has going on in Boulder. What do you mean by clown show? I don't understand. What's going on? Transfers? Yeah, but that's everywhere that people leave and come and go. That's kind of college football nowadays. We lost a bunch of guys too with the Canes. Is it that? I mean,
I've seen so much, like, I don't know what's Memorex, what's real and what's not with the stories coming out of there. There was a story that his son wasn't going to class. There's been so much stuff going on about like different things. I don't know which ones are real, which ones are right, what's going on. We do know that people are transferring out, which happens everywhere.
Yeah, that happens everywhere.
So,
and academically, I saw a video where he addressed it. He even read it publicly in front of everybody, the notes and all that. So he's addressing it. He's old school, dude. Here's what I will say, Alf. Okay? This is a team that won one game the year before. They haven't meant anything in well over 20 years. He made them matter right away. They won 4 times the amount of games they won the year before. So until I see it go the other way, I'm gonna. And Alf, he's never failed wherever he goes. So I'm going to believe in Dion, and I actually am going to go out on a limb and tell you I like what he's doing because he's old school. He doesn't really take a lot of shit from these kids. And he's kind of tells them that they have to work harder. If not, you're not going to get anywhere. So a lot of these kids, I don't trust anyways because they're transferring out of 3 and 4 schools now, during their careers. So I am going to reserve judgment, any kind of negative judgment. And I'm going to say that what goes on there goes on a lot of places. But in the end, I think Dion will win in that place. I think he'll do well. So I don't know. I'm not ready to criticize anything that Dion does. I'm not the guy that underestimates him. I never have, and I never will. Since I was a kid, that guy has succeeded in everything he's done. What do you got?
No, dude 67 said Dion's calling out the slackers, and the slackers are tweeting, so it's probably just a bunch of
Whiny little bitches. Just like the guys that transferred now from the University of Miami, they probably couldn't take Mario's old school, style. And there's a lot of those kind of kids nowadays. We drafted a kid, the Dolphins drafted a kid that had transferred 3 times. I forgot which one it was. But this is what you're dealing with now. I can't, Alf. I'm a Dion guy. So I'll have to be proven wrong, and I'll gladly admit when I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. True Fin fan, thank you, sir. I see you and Sean mañana. Rum and Coke, please. Oh, so you're going to Hialeah. Oh, that's right. He's going to meet Steve. Okay. All right. Let's see. Pat Riley needs to borrow Chris Greer to do a trade. Pat Riley doesn't have ammunition. That's his real problem. Let's see. Love Sperano and Campbell when we had them fill in. If either one of them could have put together a solid staff, I believe they could have succeeded in Miami. Rest in peace. I could never believe in Tony Sperano. Never. I can't believe in anybody that has, no balls on offense and will settle for field goals. And I hate to trash the guy because he's no longer with us. He was a fantastic human being. But as a head coach, he didn't have the chutzpah you need to have to be a head coach. You got to be able to take some chances at times, and he's not a guy that was willing to do that. So that was my problem with him. Let me get to some birthdays today. How about that? Let's do that. YNW Melly, rapper, is 25. I don't even know if he's worthy of anything, but I mentioned it. Tim McGraw, I do know, is a kick-ass country singer. He's 57. James Murray, comedian, is 48. He's one of those they play the practical jokers guys. He's one of those guys. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Chet Holmgren, 22. Bro, can we stop with the commercial? You know what I'm talking about? What a pro wants, what a pro needs. Jesus Christ, Chet Holmgren. Get lost. Happy birthday, kid. I'm tired of your commercial. That damn commercial's on in every break. Ray Parker Jr. is 70 today. Put some respect on Ray Parker Jr. Okay? Ray Parker Jr. is a stud. Even if you're in love with the other woman. What's NorCal got for me? Happy birthday to the legendary Cameron Scott, creator of East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. All right. Happy birthday to him. But going back to Ray Parker, it's like an underrated band, Radio, with a Y. That's how he spelled it, Raydio. I never would imagine that somebody would make a song, and it's a great song, with Jack and Jill. Now, Ray Parker does what so many have done in the history of time and music, right? It's amazing. Michael Jackson says, yeah, I'm out of here. Sorry. Take it easy. Rod Stewart tells Faces, I'm on my own. You know, it's always been like that. Beyonce, Destiny's Child, you're just kids. I'm moving on. You know, it's always been like that. Timberlake tells his band boys, isn't Harry Styles was he in New Direction or Old Direction or some crap like that, right? He was part of a they all do it, right? They all leave, you know, and not all, but I'm saying a lot of people do that, you know. And Ray Parker, he took off from radio and went on and Ghostbusters and all that. But it's like an underrated band, Radio. Most of you won't even know, you know, it'll take some of you out there that you'll know what I'm talking about. Yes. The Jack and Jill song was just too much. Let's see. What else do we have? Celebrating Phil Smith from Haircut 100 was born in 1959. Steve Ferris from Mr. Mister, born in 1957. Rita Coolidge, backup singer with Joe Cocker. Leon Russell, Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. She might have had some talent. Born in 1945. So those are some of the folks celebrating birthdays today. How about music history today? Today in music history, Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars gave the Gap Band a writing credit on their huge hit Uptown Funk due to its similarities with the 79 track Oops Upside Your Head. Oops Upside Your Head. Yo mama, oops, side. Forget it. I'm just, we're a little ahead of the curve with you all out there. I don't even know how many of you know about Oops Upside Your Head. Oops Upside Your Head. Anyway, I bet if you know Jack and Jill, you know Oops Upside Your Head. Justin Bieber, his personal assistant, was ordered to do community service after police found ecstasy in his room. In 2005, Bruce Springsteen went to #1 on the UK charts with Devil and Dust, the American singer-songwriter's 6th UK #1. Today, on this date in 2013, Chris Kelly, one half of the 90s rap duo Criss Cross, passed away in an Atlanta hospital at the age of 34. Kelly had been found unresponsive at his home. Criss Cross was made up of Kelly, known as Mac Daddy, and Chris Daddy Mac. They are most widely remembered for the 92 hit Jump, Jump. And in 2003, American soul singer Barry White suffered a stroke while being treated for kidney failure. The singer died 2 months later on July 4th, 2003. So those are some of the things that went on in Musica history for you all out there. All right. What else? We all know neither Holmgren nor Shai Gilgeous-Alexander listen to any Christina Aguilera songs. All I know is I'm just tired of the commercial. Okay? It's a terrible commercial, and I got to watch it 86 times during an NBA playoff game. That's all I know. How have you not seen that commercial? Are you not watching basketball?
I watch the playoffs. I watch wrestling with the volume up, the playoffs with the volume down.
Oh.
So I just turn over and look every once in a while at the games. So
okay. I got to say, I'm not a wrestling guy, but it is a way to avoid Chet Holmgren.
And the Panthers also, because at the time the Panthers were playing the same time as the Heat. Well, one started a little bit.
Not
early,
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. But hey,
that ends tonight. That ends tonight, baby.
Poor Messi and his guys, man. They chose the wrong game to go to, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, they went to the Heat game.
Yeah.
And by the way, they're in Broward.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they went that far down there.
Why would you go?
But aren't they? They're living in Miami, I'm guessing, right? Isn't he down there?
You know what? This tells me that Inter Miami PR sucks.
At least the Dolphins divided it up, right? They said, "Hey, McDaniel, you're no good. You're going to the Heat. Sit behind Spo." They sent Jalen Waddle to Sunrise to watch the Panthers.
Hold on a second. No. See, the Dolphins were planning. Chris
Oh,
Greer.
I
made
got
that
it.
Call.
I got it now.
Chris Greer.
I got to know where this is
is
going.
Foresight. He knew the game would be boring, so he goes, "Let me send a comedy show over. We'll send Mike McDaniel over." So PR staff send Mike McDaniel over with jokes to entertain Heat fans who will be bored out of their minds with that game. So there's Mike McDaniel making jokes, making people laugh on the big screen. There you go. And then hey, we'll send Waddle to the real stuff, you know? So the Dolphins were kind of trying to help the Heat out and Heat fans. That's what's going. Now, Inter Miami, this is just more of a lot of their, incompetence. They got a lot of money. They'll write checks. Half the time, they don't really know what the hell they're doing. But, what can I tell you? You hire Chris Henderson, but you probably don't give him the power that he needs because you're probably playing fanboy in the owner's box for Messi and the boys. But that's all right. It's all good. But I will say that your PR staff, you guys, come on. You had to tell Messi and the boys, no basketball for you. We get it. Argentine people probably don't care about hockey, but we want to tell you that's where you want to go. And you want to go there live. Hockey live. The soccer PR people probably don't know that hockey live is the best sport out of all five. But that's all right. Again, NFL, you need me to guide you? We'll help you out. Miami Heat, you need any help on the rebuild? I'll guide you. Let's go. Inter Miami, you need some guidance there? We're here for you. We're here for a lot of you. Hey, Marlins, do you need somebody to tell you the truth? We're here for you, dude. We're here. And by the way, Hialeah Park is also here with a $100 no-regret first bet. Use that QR code. We'll be there tomorrow. Broadcasting live, having some fun. Big O, please explain why the Heat versus Knicks rivalry of the 90s was way more intense than the Heat versus Celtics. It meant something, and it went back and forth, right? The Celtics Heat rivalry now is not much of a rivalry. It was more of a rivalry with the big three and the other guys, even though they were smoking the other team. Most of the time, the big three really owned them once they took over. But the Knicks Heat rivalry was real personal, and they were both kind of even teams. So I that rivalry was, the Heat have been kind of the upstart team. That's the difference. Fluky. Because you have this great coach that makes you perform better than what you really are. The problem is he's done such a great job. It had some media members and fans after game 2 thinking you actually had a chance, which is, silly talk. But that's all right. It's harmless stuff.
Different mindset in the NBA now too, right? I mean,
yeah,
players like,
yes, that's a great point.
I mean,
that's a great point.
I mean, then also with the Knicks and the Heat, Pat Riley started a lot of that because of the way he left New York and then went to Miami,
and the fans hated it.
It
couldn't
was
stand Riley.
That's where it got real personal, personal, and then just the play, the style of play, was physical already. So it wasn't like, I'm not backing down from you, and I'm not backing down from you, and then they just keep going, and you got I'll one-up you, I'll one-up you, I'll one-up you. And next thing you know, you got Jeff Van Gundy holding on to legs. I mean, it's what happens.
I love it. I love it. Messi has to own a helicopter. Yeah, he needs one. Definitely. This Bitcoin dip is awesome. Time to scoop up. Hell yeah, dude. Scoop it up. Good for you. Not a financial advisor, but that's what I'm doing. I ain't going to stop scooping up. Hells to the nah. No way. It was One Direction, Stephen Harris. There you go. All right, we thank Matt Verderam. We thank, of course, all the guys out here, Jeff, John, Brett, everybody out here, as always, making it nice and easy for us out here at Caneswear. Remember, use our code BIG010. Online, you go over $99, you'll get free shipping. So check it out at Caneswear. And when you come on down here, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. They got anything and everything practically with the Canes logo on it. They got Inter Miami gear, jerseys, everything. Yeah, they switched it up. These were Inter Miami last time. But they got all kinds of stuff, dude. Dolphins, Heat, Marlins, Panthers, Inter, besides almost anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. So come on out here and check it out. 2566 South University Drive in Davie. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock live from Hialeah Park Casino. Y'all be good out there. See you tomorrow.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans